Alrighty, hello party people. Apologies for the lighting. I don't know. Is this better? I don't know what is better. But anyway, welcome to the final installment of me reading the Addicted Callaway Sister series. Now, this isn't the last of my Kristen Beccarecci reading vlogs, because tonight and tomorrow I'll be reading Some Kind of Perfect, which is just giving me the serotonin boost that I needed. I mean, I know that it'll probably get emotional at times, but right now it's just very heartwarming. Firstly, I wasn't actually planning on filming this until tomorrow morning, but we're here, it's all good. I'm currently at the part where, so it's Daisy 2018, yep, August 2018. Daisy Lauren Hale, that's right, it was Daisy just before, that's why I was getting so confused. I was like, what? Anyway, so it is Daisy, Reich and Lo are at Lucky's, and they are Skyping Willow, who's at uni in London. Things that I want to say first. Hold on, what was I saying before? Oh, that's right. So this this is the last book, obviously, in the Addicted Callaway Sister series. However, after I've read this, I will be reading the Bad Reputation duet. So I'm reading it as the Singleton books, and then I've already tabbed in my collector's edition, which you might be able to see up there, the bonus scenes. However, after I finish all of this, maybe in a couple of months, maybe even a couple of weeks, probably depends how I'm feeling, I'm actually going to read that version as well. But I have those two books, and then I will be reading the Circus's Family duet. So that was originally called Amour, Amour and Infini, which I was told by Haley is a very good palette cleanser between the Addicted Callaway Sister. Okay, I don't know if you would have heard that, it was just a weird noise from the next room. So between the Addicted Callaway Sister series and then the Like Us series. Also because I believe one of the Cobalt boys shows up, so that's cool. So you'll have reading vlogs for those 4 books, and then starting next week, what day? Supposed to be Friday, might be earlier, might be later, kind of depends on my reading speed, to be honest. I'll be starting the Like Us series. So what books there are so far, so there is 11 of them, so you still got, if you wish to stick around, you still got a lot of books left, because there is Damaged, Lovers, Alphas, Tangled, Sinful, Headstrong, Charming, Wild, Fearless, Infamous, and Misfits. Like Us. Did I name them all? I think I did. So there's that as well. So it's not completely saying goodbye to this universe, but kind of saying goodbye to the core 6 and Willow and Garrison. No, more so just the core 6, really. Saying goodbye to the core 6 as we know it now. But in saying that though, obviously ever since, I would say about Addicted After All, maybe? Addicted After All, Fear the Fire. As soon as Lily and Lo and Rose and Connor became parents, you were starting to see things change, because they now had different things that they needed to focus on in their lives. So it's already changing. It was already changing as it was, but it's still very lovely to see. And I love these characters with my heart and soul. So far we have seen obviously Daisy with Sullivan. That was right at the very beginning during the meeting regarding where the children are going to be kind of shown in the We Are Callaway doc show. We've also seen the Cobalt clan so far of Jane, Charlie and Beckett having a tea party with their parents, which was so sweet, even though they had to explain to Jane what the use of a guillotine was, which was interesting. And obviously seeing Lo with Moffy, which is just, I love it all. Anyway, I know I said I wasn't going to be tabbing these editions, but I've got, granted, they're not the most aesthetically pleasing looking tabs because they also block out the text, but these are like parts that I'm tabbing them. Like, I will absolutely be wanting to go back and look at these passages before I get my Berkeley edition, which will be, I'm hoping, early next year. Fuel the Fire is due at the beginning of December, so we've got a little bit of time still. But yes, I've already been speaking for over 7 minutes, and probably a lot of it was nonsensical, but there you go. Yeah, I don't know, it's a little bit weird walking into this one, but also I was saying to my parents I really want to try finish this by tomorrow night, because it would mean that exactly a week ago I had started, because it was on Saturday night that I started reading and finished reading Addicted to You. So it would be kind of like a nice kind of full circle moment. Granted, I did not read Thrive, but I'll be rereading Thrive in the Berkeley edition in August, so I will go back. But yeah, for the time being, I'm going to continue reading and also listening to Some Kind of Perfect, though I'm a little bit perplexed. I think the narrator for Lo, it's because at the top it says Lauren Hale. I'm like, no, he's Lo. The narrator is different, I think. I feel like everybody else might be the same, but I feel like he's different, and it really boggles my brain. I mean, I'll probably be able to see it like on the Audible, like on the web page or something like that, but I'm just like, this isn't the Lo I know. But it's fine, it's okay. But yes, I am going to continue reading now because I'm fully immersed in it. Also, seeing Lo as a big brother to Willow is just so, and I don't know if it's because obviously by the time he fully met her and then found out that they're actually siblings, well, full siblings, whether him being a dad kind of made him kind of step into this really caring, very protective big brother role, or whether it's just him trying to be what Reich was for him. I guess we'll never know. But yeah, I'm going to continue reading now because that's all I want to do right now. So I will catch with you a bit later and hopefully don't bore your titty tartars off. Okay, everything regarding, I don't know if there's going to be multiple parties, so I'll just say the 2018, no, it'd be 2019, yeah, 2019 birthday party, so Connor's 30th birthday party. Everything about this I love. like having the cardboard cutout of Connor at the entrance, of course. Lo coming in and being like, it's like, this isn't a party, it's a social. Like, where's the salsa? You can't have chips without salsa. And then Reich being like, fine, I'll make you salsa. And then him confiding in Lo that he heard Sullivan say her first word, and if you know Reich Meadows, you already know what the first word is going to be, and I love it. And then Connor, I mean, like, as he should, but he just fired a man on the spot because he was confrontational and very rude and sleazy towards Lily. He just went, bye. And now Connor's like, Garrison needs to come to my party. And Garrison, oh, bless him. Honestly, now I'm a little bit nervous to read the Bad Reputation duet because I'm like, I didn't think I'd be getting as much emotional turmoil with him, but now I might be, because Willow is now in London, and so basically he now works for Connor, and like he works ridiculous hours, like 6 a.m. till midnight. Like, I can be a workaholic, but like that is, I have done that before actually. But not for, he does it 7 days a week, so I was Little Miss working from like 5 a.m. till midnight. That's the kind of girl I was in uni. Not a good idea though. Anyway, that's not what you came here for. But Connor had referred to Garrison as his friend, and Garrison's like, we're not friends. Like, you're my boss, we're not friends. And then he does this whole thing of, like, I have friends. And he says, he pauses and he corrects himself, one friend, she's just not here. I am now so glad that I got that Garrison Abbey sweatshirt, because I'm like, I may not know you very well right now, but I have a feeling I'm going to like you a lot despite your past actions. I'll never forget how we started, but I also do believe that people can grow. I mean, hello, look at the core 6. Just everything about this book I just love, and I now understand why Zoe had said not long ago that she's like, Some Kind of Perfect is one of my favorites. It's like, I get it now. Then again, I'm only on page 95. I'm waiting for my heart to get smashed into a million pieces. But again, I'm going to reread the series, I think, biannually. And I mean, hopefully next week I'll get my copy of Addicted for Now. So honestly, not that far from now, I'll be rereading Addicted for Now, and tabbing and stuff like that, because I'll have like 2 weeks off the like little job that I have for like Easter and stuff like that, so I'll have time to do it then. And yeah, I'll be reading these biannually. After every Berkeley release, I will be reading those again and tabbing and annotating. And also, I am moving on to the Like Us series, so they won't be featured all the time, but also it is the parents of the main characters, or at least the billionaires portion of the main characters. So it's kind of like, I will be seeing them again. It's never fully goodbye. But I've said this before, that I have been with Haley and Zoe seriously considering getting a very, very small, like, you know, very much like fine line kind of tattoo of basically just a little teeny weeny lineup of, I think, 4 flowers: a poppy, a rose, a lily, and a daisy. Otherwise it could just be a rose, a lily, and a daisy. I'm sometimes in two minds about that, because number one is like, you know, the main, you know, the main bread and butter people are obviously rose, lily, and daisy. But then in Thrive, so I had this idea about having the 3, but then in Thrive, of course, when you know, Poppy's like, you know, we're gonna go to Comic-Con, we're all gonna dress up, I was like, oh, okay, we could add Poppy. But yeah, they very much, like, the Calloway sisters will always be part of my life. Now, I used to work in a bookstore, so obviously you get lots of different people coming in. And a super duper popular series was the Seven Sisters? Seven Sisters series by Lucinda Riley. And there's one point last night where I was like, would like that be comparable to the Calloway Sisters series? And I was like, well, no, because I think the whole thing with the Lucinda Riley books is they're all set in different places. So like it's not the same. But maybe like this is my generation's version of the Seven Sisters series, except I have this vision that I will be, you know, very much grey, and I will still be reading these books over and over again. But copies like this one will be pristine, because I'll not be reading from these ones, even if I have to buy like 1,000,000 times over the Berkeley editions. I will, to ensure that I always have reading copies of the core 6 books. Anyway, I'm being very mushy and sentimental right now, and I have a feeling this could be a very long vlog. Sorry. Alrighty, good morning, party people. Today is Saturday, the 25th of March, and I'm officially a quarter, literally, like Goodreads actually says 25% of the way through some kind of perfect, and I'm loving it. Like, just seeing all these different milestones. I mean, I've tabbed so much. Like, oh dear God, my Berkeley copy, whenever I get it some point next year, she's gonna be looking a state. I wonder what the cover's gonna be like actually for the Berkeley edition, whether they're going to go with something kind of like this or different, you know, because I thought that they were all going to be like basically the same as, like, you know, the Simon Schusters and stuff like that. But obviously we've thrown a curveball with Fuel the Fire being bright orange, which honestly I think is quite fitting. Like, it's just like, is it dark? The other one, is it dark blue because Kiss the Sky is blue? Like, I wonder what was the reason for having the dark blue of that one in the first place. That, and obviously Connor wears a lot of he wears a lot of navy, doesn't he? Anyway, so Luna has just been born. So I'm literally on chapter 16, page 190. So it's December 2019, the Lake House, Smoky Mountains. I love their holidays. Like, I love all the things about it, like when they're all together. Like, I remember when I was younger, and maybe it's because I wasn't, you know, I don't have many cousins. My one's in the UK, you know, 2 of them are older than me, and also they were raised in the UK. I was raised in New Zealand, and then my New Zealand cousins, they're all a fair chunk younger than me. So I guess I've never quite had that that experience of like kind of going away like with your cousins and everyone just like hanging out, whatever. I've never experienced that, and it was always something that I wanted as a kid. Would I have that with future children? Who knows? Because to be honest, I don't know. Well, we don't know, do we? But if I never get it, I can at least live vicariously through the core 6. I haven't cried yet. I've actually been very good. To be honest, I'm just really happy for them. Like, that's all it is. I'm just happy. And just seeing how far they've all come and stuff like that is just like, wow. I mean, so maybe it would be more like happy tears if there are tears than sadness. I mean, because it actually says never say goodbye, and I never will be able to say goodbye. But also, I mean, literally this evening I'll be starting, oh, can I get it out? Whatever it takes, which is focusing on Garrison. And obviously Garrison is with Willow. Willow is Lo's full sister, Reich's half sister. At the moment, Garrison is living with Lily and Lo, or at least last time I checked. So, you know, I don't think there's ever any fully saying goodbye. I think it's just more so saying goodbye to just their point of view on everything. And I think it'll be good. So yeah, so far on the children front, so obviously we already had Jane, Moffy, why am I having a blank? Charlie and Bennett, and now we have Elliot and Luna. I like how with this we are getting some description on where the children get their names from, which is what I was really wanting, because I was thinking with Rose and Con, I was like, there has to be like literature aspects to it, like there has to be. And Elliot's one, I did definitely guess the first part, but when I read something about Alice, I was like, Alice, that's interesting. And then, okay, so yeah, actually the part with Elliot's middle name, I was kind of like, you know, it wasn't crying, but you know that feeling that you get like when your throat just kind of tightens and you're like, I could cry any moment. It was kind of like that, because it's just so sweet, but also still very Rose and Connor with the literature aspect. I don't know why I'm doing my makeup. I mean, firstly, I don't really do much anyway. It doesn't help. But the likelihood of me crying later, it could happen. I don't know. I mean, because if you think about it, the parts that I cried at in Addicted After All, and I don't think I cried in Feel the Fire actually. So Addicted After All and Long Way Down, it was sad parts or scary parts, because for me, and I don't know how Kristen Becker did it, but they've created characters for me that feel like my friends and family. So when something is amiss, you know, I start panicking like, you know, it's one of my close family members or my close friends. But of course, unfortunately, they're words on paper. But yeah, so unless something tragic occurs, I think it would just be more that I'll be happy for them, which is nice, because this is why I've kind of been scared about continuing the series, because I don't know, I don't think I was ever ready to feel these kinds of emotions and like say goodbye and stuff like that. But really, it's kind of like, firstly, it's not fully goodbye because, you know, there's their children's lives. You can tell already that they're going to, I think, be fairly involved in their children's lives. And I don't know, it's just more so like a growth thing. Like, you're just seeing them kind of go through life. Though I think it will be interesting, and it probably sounds dumb, but obviously we're currently in 2019. When this was written, when was this published actually? Not this edition published, because obviously this edition was published last year. 2016? Things with COVID. COVID wasn't a thing. So it's like, there's going to be like these timelines which like we're living in now, that like something that is such a big part of our lives right now is just, it's non-existent. It's Earth 616. Simply a different dimension. Anyway, so all I have to say so far is I'm very happy. Yeah, lots of tabbing. I had a completely new full tab thing, and I think I've gone through 3 lots of colours so far. They're not nice looking colours, but they're placeholders until I have my Berkeley edition. So yes, I'm going to continue reading now. How much do I have left on the audiobook? I think not awfully long, I don't think. I was going to like read for longer last night, but then I was like, no, and then I was like, I'm going to wake up at 6, and then my alarm went off at 6, and I went, it's okay, just sleep. I have 6.5 hours left, and it's 10:20, so I'll be finished probably before dinner. It's a lot easier for me to just say before dinner, because, you know, there might be baby breaks here and there. Oh, they gave me a fright. Have I shown you this bookmark? This is my Some Kind of Perfect bookmark. Part of me now wishes that I got the one where I printed it off, of the one where it's just the core 6. But then Willa and Garrison have popped up, so actually maybe it's perfectly fine. But yeah. Onward. So there has been a naming ceremony for Tom. And Sadie just died. She went into Jane's wardrobe and died. And poor Jane, I think, quite rightly so, is traumatized. Also, some people regarding the Like Us books and regarding Jane's one, so Tangled in 7th form, people were like, why is she wearing what she's wearing? That's not what the daughter of Rose Calloway, even though she's Rose Calloway Cobalt now, would wear. And it's like, so many times in the books, basically since she has been like of the age to choose her own clothes, she has very funky dressing, you know, like she has the tutus, she has the leopard print, she has patterns that don't match. It's very much a part of who Jane is. Jane is not Rose. Jane is Jane. She loves fashion, I'm guessing, from what I can tell, but she loves her fashion. Anyways. Oh, but yes, so there's still one boy after Tom. Let's see, we've got Jane, Charlie, Beckett, Tom, Ben. Is there still Ben? Sometimes I should probably be actually writing these down, because sometimes I feel like I'm like not remembering everything. There's so many kobolds. Yeah, okay, there's still Ben to go, and then Audrey. I would love to know actually where Audrey gets her name from. I'll pop that back in a second. It's quite it's quite neat in there. But yeah. Oh, and Daisy and Reich with Sully in the hospital was just like Daisy. I mean, they're all the Calloway sisters. They're all good mums, but like Daisy's just like such like a warm hug. Like she just seems so nurturing and just like for her it was like obviously took her the longest to kind of become a mum, or at least, you know, consciously, because obviously in Hot House Flower / Thrive, Lily and Rose's were surprises, but like Daisy is like, yeah, she was one of those who we were just like, she was meant to be a mum, and it's just so sweet. But yeah, that's what this whole book for me is actually. It's just so lovely and warm and comforting, and I'm just like, oh, you know, it's just like you can already tell like these people, they're good parents and they want nothing but the best for their family. And it's just like, oh. Anyway, I'm going to continue reading now. I'm up to, yeah, so it's the like quite literally Sadie has just died. Connor just found her. So chapter 19, April 2020, which is crazy because obviously our April 2020 was a bit different to their April 2020. But yes, this is me signing off for now because I need to read. Everything regarding Ben Cobalt's name is so sweet. The fact that Lo got to, oh my god, so this is the part where I start welling up. Ooh. The fact that Lo was able to name him and named him after Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because Obi-Wan reminded him of Connor. And then how Connor came up with the middle name. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, that honestly, that is so sweet. Like, it's so like, it's so the first name is obviously so geeky like Lowood, but then also honouring Connor, his best friend. And then how Connor chose the middle name because of the book that Rose was reading. Okay, I'm on chapter 26. Tabs have been placed in the book many times, but they're all important things. So there's that. Okay, can now confirm that Xander's name is from one of the X-Men comics, from Alexander Summers, which is brother to Scott Summers. So there's that. Though the Buffy the Vampire Slayer thing also would have been kind of cool, just in connection to Willow. But I also very much like this one as well. So yeah, that's my update. I think we've just found Winona's, is it namesake? Where she gets her name from. Because chapter 32, July 2023, Sugarloaf Bluff, Winona, Minnesota. So I was right. Because there was something, I think it was a vlog, I think, from the other day. I can't remember which. It could have, honestly, it was probably yesterday. It's hard to keep track because obviously I'm just reading these books back to back. So I'm like, was it yesterday when I had just started this? Or was it yesterday in reading Long Way Down? Either way, the name Winona, I was like, isn't there some place in America called Winona? But I said, but don't trust me because I'm awful with geography and stuff like that. And of course, like, it's obviously something nature-based. I'm just like, love it. Also, not gonna lie, I did get teary-eyed, but I didn't full-blown cry this time. But when Wright kind of very quickly explains to Sully where she got her name from when his Jeep was delivered to their house. Kind of terrifying how the children almost got run over though. I'm just like, how, like, why wasn't the vehicle stopping earlier? But anyway, also Moffy seems like the sweetest child. When Reich was like describing him in that chapter, I was just like, oh, okay, there's something else I was about to say and I've had a complete mind blank. So it was obviously very inspirational. Anyway, I'm going to continue reading now. I'm this far through, so it's currently 2:45. So I'm hoping to finish before dinner, and then after dinner start reading Whatever It Takes, which is the first book. It's quite skinny, though I will note that it's quite little, but that's the first book in the Bad Reputation duet. But Willow and Garrison are now married as well in this, and I'm like, so cute. Anyway, I'm going back. Veda Lauren? I always wondered what her name came from. Like, obviously the Lauren part, I was like, you have to like presume, but I also didn't want to go full blown until it was confirmed. I'm telling you, like, the meaning behind all of these names is just, that is so sweet. So I'm on chapter 36, which is January 2024 in Lily's POV. Like, it's literally just clicked over into New Year's Day. I'm sorry, I just needed to document that because that's just, again, I've not fully cried at anything yet. It's just one of those things where you kind of go, it just, oh. I love this so much. I love this series so much. I love these people so much. Just everything. On my audiobook, I'm now at 2 hours, 35 minutes. And it's currently 12 minutes past 3. So, I will be done, you know, relatively soon. Which is madness. Because the thing is, in our original schedule timeline, I wasn't supposed to be reading this until tomorrow, but we already know I'm going to just continue reading because I just can't stop. But like, yeah, it's good. And of course we now have the meaning of Kinney's name, and it is perfect because obviously Lily and Lo have decided that number 4 is their last. So Keller for a boy or Kinney for a girl, as in Julian Keller and Laura Kinney from the X-Men comics, Haley and X-23. Which is obviously like the Halloween outfits that they would do when they were younger. Their favourite people. It's so Lily and Lo, and I love it. And now we have Audrey Virginia Cobalt. I did wonder whether Audrey's name was from Audrey Hepburn. So when I read at night, I always have my TV on, just as like company. Like the volume could be at 1, but I don't care, like I just need something on. And when I was reading like Kiss the Sky and Fuel the Fire the other night, obviously they were on different nights, but I was very insistent on having one of my Audrey Hepburn films on in the background because I was like, I'm convinced that Audrey's name comes from Audrey Hepburn because like just the way that, you know, the way that Rose dresses and stuff like that, I said, gives me very much, like, in my head, I imagine very like Audrey Hepburn vibes. And I was right. Audrey Hepburn, and then obviously Virginia from Virginia Woolf. Yay! I can't remember if I said before. We also have Kinney as well now. I mean, Audrey is the youngest. So all of the children are now here. Now there's no more labour scenes for me to cry at. I never thought I'd be one of those people, but for the core 6, I'll cry. I'll cry at the labours, the birth announcements, the weddings. Anyway. It's so cute. Why am I crying over... I mean, firstly, I hated the whole part of Luna having, you know, people bullying her. And that they put weirdo on her forehead. But the fact that Tom and Elliot... that Tom and Elliot wrote it on purpose. Like, it just shows that, like, and so, you know, that makes me kind of, in a way, even happier to later on in the week move on to the Like Us series, because it's like the core 6 are there for one another, and then so their children are as well. God, children can either be like so kind and pure, or they can just be so horrid. So it's the fact that we've gone from one extreme to the other. I'm just like, oh. So this is the first time that I've properly cried, so well done, Kristen Becker. I feel like it's just a slippery slope from here. So there have been many tears. But I finished. The thing is, like, sometimes I can be bad at not reading the tops of chapters. So I hadn't realised that I read Rose's farewell until I got to Connor's, and I was like, hang on. And I was like, oh my god, like, this is the beginning of the end. But I did it. So later on this evening I will start reading. I just need to continue going, otherwise I'll just probably end up being in a crying heap for the rest of the evening. So I'll give myself a bit of a break, have a bit more of a cry, and move on to whatever it takes. And as much as I can't believe that I'm saying this, this brings us to the end of our Callaway Sister reading vlog of Some Kind of Perfect. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope seeing my splotchy crying face doesn't make it worse.